5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 547 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Fade the Public Friday. That's right, our work week has come to an end, and the MLB first half has almost come to an end because we are right here up against the All-Star break. Guys, we only got 3 days left. We got to make the most of it. We got today, we got Saturday, we got Sunday, and then the All-Star break is here. So Monday's the Home Run Derby, Tuesday is the All-Star game, and then I don't know what we're going to do with ourselves on Wednesday and Thursday because there's no games pretty much at all. But then we do have baseball coming back a week from today. So again, we love grinding baseball every day. It's become a ritual. It's a routine. I love waking up and trying to pick out 3 winners from a slate of 15 games. I just love the routine of it, the challenge of it. But again, you get to the All-Star break. Sometimes it's good to take a step back. Maybe spend some time with the family or the loved ones who we've neglected throughout the first half of the year, and just recharge our batteries, get ready for the second half, and really get ready for the NFL and college football, which is crazy. It's only about a month and a half away. But with that being said, guys, going to waste no more time because we're going to get right back to it. It's a big Friday night. We have 15 games to choose from, and I did find 3, count them 3 MLB best bets here to get down on. 2 very short favorites and 1 very short dog. So we're going to see if a dog can bark. We're going to see if a couple favorites can come through for us. As always, guys, a 3-pack. Let's try to go 2-1, eke out a winning day. Now, why do I always mention, realistic expectations, 3 picks, let's try to go 2-1? Because you realize that you're up against a very difficult market that's hard to win at consistently. We got to overcome the juice, overcome bad beats, beat the razor sharp lines. You guys know the drill. If sports betting was easy, we'd all quit our day jobs and make millions of dollars as bettors. But we know it's hard, but we embrace the challenge. But I always try to stress that, hey, we got a 3-pack. Let's try to eke out, scratch and claw, get a 2-1. Because sometimes you go 3-0, and it makes you that much happier. It gives you more confidence. It makes those 3-0s much sweeter. I see all the time, and I think I don't get why people do this. I think these are just younger bettors in their early 20s, but they're like, let's go 6-0 today. Let's crush the books. And it's like, really? You really think it's that easy? Also, you're only setting yourself up for disappointment or failure, because if you expect to go 6-0, 3-0 every night, it's not going to happen. The betting market is way too hard. But if we have realistic expectations, we grind, we try to squeak out as many winning days as we can. When we go 3-0, it makes it that much sweeter. And that's exactly what we did last night. 3rd straight winning day, 3-0 plus 2.65 units. Had a great hit with the Orioles earlier in the day. And again, that was a game that I was kind of back and forth frustrated on because I saw the sharp move and I'm like, man, Orioles are sharp today. But then I'm like, ooh, Orioles, they're not very good. And wouldn't you know it, I was out, I had to do some errands. But when I left the house, they're up 1-0. I'm like, okay, maybe they're good. Maybe they'll win for us. Then as I'm doing my errands, I'm out and about doing a bunch of stuff. When I get home, they're down 2-1 in the 8th inning. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, really? They're going to lose this one 2-1? Of course. Why did I take the Orioles? But then something incredible happened. Couple guys on, pinch hitter Jeremiah Jackson ropes a double in the right center field gap. They score 2 runs. They hang on in the bottom of the 9th, or the top of the 9th, and they ended the game with a line drive to left. Made me scared by Conforto. I thought it might drop because they had a tying run on. But they ended the game right before it opened up and started pouring. So shout out to the O's. Not a very good team, but that's the beauty of being a data-driven bettor. You go where the sharp money leads you, and the O's came through. Then we got the Marlins, 8-4. Marlins bats went nuts. Marlins were a dog. Remember the Marlins as a dog? They had that line move in their favor. It was nice to cash a plus 112, plus 110. Marlins, break up the Marlins. Man, they're good right now. And then winner with the Brewers, late night, 8-4. I turned that game on, and they were up 6-1. Walker hit a homer, made it 6-4, but they tacked on a couple runs, and were able to hang on 8-4. So Orioles, Marlins, Brewers, a nice little 3-0. You love it when you get a sweep, plus 2.65 units. So our challenge today, guys, when you have a bunch of winning days in a row, the challenge is to produce another winning day. When you have a bunch of losing days in a row, your challenge is to get back in the green. So regardless, this is the challenge that we embrace, but hopefully we can finish off the week on a hot note as we steam into All-Star break weekend. But with that being said, 3-pack overall, I'm excited to get right back in the arena with you guys, see if we can get a couple winners here for today. So, first one on the board, let's look at a 6:40 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch between the Milwaukee Brewers, who we just mentioned, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, let's talk line moves, split system matches, and I'll give you my play for this one. So, the Brewers come in 59-34, one of the best teams in baseball. I think second best record behind the Dodgers, doing it again with a small payroll, unbelievable. But they just took 4 of 5, big 5-game series against the Cards. Came through for us yesterday in the series finale 8-4 as a -125 road favorite. On the other hand, the Pirates are 47-47, 500 team. Just dropped 2 of 3 against the Braves. They lost yesterday's series finale 10-5 as a -110 home pick'em play. Now, in tonight's series opener, the Brewers are going to go with the righty Brandon Sproat. He's 3-4 with a 5.13 ERA. Meanwhile, the Pirates are going to counter with the fellow righty Braxton Ashcraft. He's 9-3 with a 3.24 ERA. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened Pittsburgh around a -135 home favorite, Milwaukee a +115 road dog, and the public pretty much split down the middle. They don't know what to do. Ashcraft's got a good record ERA. Buccos are at home. It's a relatively short price, but also Milwaukee's getting plus money. They're a pretty good team. So if you look at DraftKings, right down the middle, 50-50 ticket split. Half the tickets on Milwaukee plus money, half the tickets on Pittsburgh laying the short chalk number. But what do we always talk about? 50-50, theoretically, a line shouldn't move at all because the odds makers have balanced action. They set a perfect number. There's no need for them to bring the number up or down because they're getting equal action on both sides. But sometimes you get a 50-50 ticket split and yet you see a line move. Now that's meaningful because even though the bets are even and the public's undecided, smart money might have taken a position and caused the line move. And that's what we're seeing here. 50-50, yet the line's going toward the beer makers because Pittsburgh has fallen -135 down to -125. Brewers, meanwhile, have fallen from +115 down to +105. So that tells me we got a sharp 50-50 line move on the beer makers. I like the Brewers here today, guys. I'm taking a shot on the Brewers at some plus money. Now, we look at the splits. DK, only 50% money line bets, but 67% money line dollars are on Milwaukee. So good low bets, higher dollar split. Basically only half the tickets, but $2 out of $3. Smart money there on Milwaukee. Over at Circa, over 90% of money line bets and dollars are on Milwaukee. So that tells us we got a lot of big money out in Vegas also going with the beer makers, which coincides with the line move toward Milwaukee. Then we get a system match. First off, divisional dog. Divisional dogs tend to bark louder because of the built-in familiarity, levels the playing field, benefits the team getting plus money. You see more upsets in divisional games than non-division. And one system match in particular is if you are a road divisional dog off a win and you're getting line movement in your favor, that would match with Milwaukee. Those teams are 20-19, 51%. But if you're 51% on a money line dog plus money system, that's pretty good. That's a 10% ROI system. Milwaukee is 8-3 in Sproat's last 11 starts. And he's pitched, knock on wood, very well recently. He's got a 1.79 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's only given up 3 earned runs in 15.1 innings pitched. Brewers, meanwhile, they're great on the road, 30-16 on the road. That's the best road record in baseball. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, they're only 24-24 at home, but they're also only 13-15 as a home favorite. So when they're at home and expected to win, they're actually below water, below 500. That's the 7th worst home chalk record in baseball. So we're seeing a big amount of line movement here toward Milwaukee. And it also doesn't hurt that I popped open Rhythm and noticed 2 Rhythm recommendations, both lighting up in favor of the beer makers. So shop around, guys. I was able to get the Brewers +106 at FanDuel. Again, a lot of books down to +105, even inching a little bit down to like +104, closer to even money. But let's see if the beer makers, who are great on the road and have a good system match and good splits, can come through for us. I'm on the Brewers +106. Now, next bet on the board, let's look at a matchup here, 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch between the Seattle Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Mariners come in 47-47 on the year, another 500 team like the Buccos, and they just got swept by the Marlins. That's fine with us because the Mariners lost 8-4 last night as a -130 road favorite. Got a big win there with Miami as a plus money dog. Meanwhile, the Rays, 54-37 on the year, a great record. Just took 2 of 3 against the Yankees, but could not complete the sweep. They got rolled 12-4 yesterday as a -145 home favorite. So, in tonight's series opener, the Mariners are going with the righty Luis Castillo. He's 3-7 with a 4.79 ERA. Rays, meanwhile, are going to go with the righty Nick Martinez. He's 7-2 with a 2.61 ERA. Now, what have we seen across the board here? This game opened at basically a pick'em, around -110 odds on both sides. And we always talk about, we just mentioned the 50-50 line move. Tickets are even, but the line goes in one direction. I want to typically be with that line move. But when a game opens at a pick'em, think of it this way. There are a lot of wise guys, wise gals, sharp pro bettors out there who set their own numbers. And if they have the game around a pick'em as well, they're really not going to bet it because there's no edge either way. But they might have one team -115, -120. So if they open at a pick, they're going to hit it, move that number. And that's what we've seen here because even though we have a pick'em opener, we've seen the line creep up toward Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has gone from -110 to around -115. I'm seeing a couple shops inching toward -120. So it's clearly a line move in favor of Tampa. We've never seen this go -115, -120 towards Seattle. Now let's go over to DK at DraftKings. 75% of moneyline bets, but 97% of moneyline dollars are on the Rays. Tells us a big preponderance of low bets, higher dollars. Sharp action also going with Tampa, which coincides with that line move. Then we get into our system matches. So just generally speaking, Tampa Bay, non-division favorite, lack of familiarity, typically benefiting quote-unquote the better team. Tampa also has some correlative betting value. This total is around 8. Some shops are even like 7.5, juiced a little over. And for your amount of expected runs scored, also more likely to come from quote-unquote that better team. But in particular, if you're a Friday home favorite, -150 or less, and you missed the playoffs the previous year, kind of a buy low system play, you think, oh, they missed the playoffs, they're not that good, but the situation's been really good, buying low on teams that fit this criteria, like the Rays here. Those teams are 32-16, 67%, 19% ROI this year. The Rays also have the better bats. They're hitting 259 as a team, 334 on base, 410 runs scored. Mariners only hitting 230 as a team, 311 on base, 381 runs scored. So hopefully the bats of Tampa can get to Castillo. Tampa Bay is 13-4 in Nick Martinez's 17 starts this year. So they've played well behind him. Hopefully they can do that again tonight. He's 5-1 with a 3.04 ERA at home, and he's 5-1 with a 2.38 ERA in night games. So he's been good at home, good at night. He's at home tonight. On the other hand, Castillo, I've been a fan of Castillo over the years, but he's had a rough season. Seattle is just 6-11 in his 17 starts this year. And in night games, he's 1-5 with a 5.29 ERA. Generally speaking, Rays, good team at night, 34-20 at night. Mariners, 28-32 at night, a losing record. And then also Tampa Bay. We just talked about Milwaukee being a great road team. Tampa is a really good home team. Tampa is 33-14 at home, and they're 24-8 as a home favorite. Both of those are the best records in baseball. Meanwhile, Mariners, 20-27 on the road, a losing record. So open at a pick'em. The line's crept up toward Tampa. We got some good splits, good system matches. Hopefully Martinez greater than Castillo. And then, oh, by the way, popped open Rhythm and noticed one Rhythm recommendation lighting up in favor of Tampa Bay. So shop around here, guys. I'm seeing the Rays as high as -118, -120. I got Tampa Bay -115 at Caesars. Last bet of the night. Let's stay in the great state of Florida. Let's go down to Miami, where the Miami Marlins are hosting the Cleveland Guardians. 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time, first pitch. Now, the Guards come in 48-46 on the year, but they did just drop 2 of 3 against the Twins. Avoided the sweep, however. They won yesterday's series finale 5-2 as a -110 road favorite. Meanwhile, the Marlins, 52-42, just swept the Mariners, as we mentioned. Came through for us bigly last night, 8-4 winners as a +110 home dog. So, in tonight's Interleague Series opener, the Guardians are starting the lefty Parker Messick. He is 7-5 with a 2.80 ERA. Meanwhile, the Marlins are going with the righty ace Sandy Alcantara, 10-4 ERA of 4. Now, what have we seen across the market? Well, I think if you like Tampa, you like Miami. Very similar situation. This game opened at roughly a pick'em. Both sides are on minus 110 odds, and we've seen nothing but movement in favor of the Fish. The Fish have gotten bet up minus 110 up to minus 120, so about 10 cents of movement in their favor. We have some really good splits on Miami. 72% of bets, 75% of moneyline dollars at DK. And then over at Circa, 86% of moneyline bets, 97% of moneyline dollars. So low bets, higher dollars at both DK and Circa, but especially the Sharps and Circa. You look at some system matches here. So generally speaking, just interleague favorite, lack of familiarity, benefiting quote-unquote the better team. We also have a favorite low total correlative betting play. Totals around 7.5 or even 7. So low-scoring game. Hopefully those runs come from the better team expected to win, which would be Miami, based on that minus number in front of their odds. One of my favorite system matches, we've talked about this quite a bit, knock on wood, when both teams are above 500, just take the team receiving line movement in their favor. In this case, it would be Miami. Those teams are 129 and 78, 62%, 13% ROI this year. System match that we just talked about with Tampa also matches with Miami. Friday home favorites, minus 150 or less, missed the postseason the previous year. 32 and 16, 67%, 19% ROI this year. Miami also has the better bets. We saw them last night get hot for us, winning 8-4, poured on a bunch of runs. Let's hope they can do it again tonight. But Miami as a team is hitting 255. They've scored 434 runs. Guardians are only hitting 228. They've only scored 373 runs. In particular, Miami rakes at home. At home, they're hitting 253. That's the 9th best batting average for a home team. Cleveland, meanwhile, hitting 216 on the road. That is dead last in Major League Baseball. Messick, his numbers are pretty good, but Cleveland in his last 7 starts is just 1-6. And Miami is a great home team. They are 31 and 17 at home. They are 19 and 7 as a home favorite. Both of those numbers or records are the 3rd best in baseball. So similar to the Rays, Marlins were a pick'em that got bet up a little bit to a short favorite. Good splits, system matches, great team at home. I'm going to ride the Marlins once again. Also noticed one rhythm recommendation lighting up in favor of Miami, so the AI model is with us there as well. But I was able to get Miami minus 120 at Ballybet, and Ballybet gave me an odds boost, so I got the Marlins boosted down to minus 109. And again, some books as high as minus 125. So minus 120 should be pretty widely available. But again, keep an eye out for the books and which ones are providing you an odds boost. So, Brewers as a dog, Rays and Marlins as short favorites. Let's try to get 2 out of 3, continue our winning ways. So that about does it for episode 547 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up, and I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day, your busy lives. I know you guys got a lot going on, but I see the stats. I have my my podcast for creators page. I can see the downloads, the listens, and you guys keep showing up every day. It's a testament to our style, our approach, and hopefully the community we've created here. But if you enjoy the insights, you value the pod, hopefully it's become a part of your routine, whether you tail every bet or pick and choose or just see where we overlap. Any of that is fine. Heck, if you want to fade them all, that's cool too, whatever you want. I would recommend tailing more than fading because I think we're on the sharp side here most of the time. But anyway, if you want to help me grow this podcast, there are some basic, simple things you could do. You could very easily just give this podcast a 5-star review if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes. Recommend the pod to a friend. You could also just retweet or like the pod when I put it out on Twitter each day. Any or all of those things would be very much appreciated. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting and you want to learn more about data-driven betting, I would love for you to buy one of my books and get them off of Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com, type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook or the Everything Guide to Sports Betting. Grab one or both of my books. They make a great gift, somebody's birthday, whatever the case may be. Stocking stuffers, the holidays are a ways away. But you don't need a holiday or a reason to buy the book in particular. You want to learn more about data-driven betting, or maybe you have someone in your life who could use some data-driven tips. They might be benefiting from being introduced to the data-driven style. Again, you can pick up the Everything Guide to Sports Betting or the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook. You'd make my day. You'd get some knowledge on your end, and you bring them a sports book, I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer or a ginger ale, and we'll sweat some games together. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? My two favorite sports betting apps. Rhythm is fantastic for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. Juice Reel, so many great features. You can sync up your sports books, get a running report card of your action, Robo Jackson best bet picks, sharp mush indicators, the arbitrage plays, the shop for the best line futures. And then if you also want to support the pod or tip your podcast hosts, you go out to dinner, server takes care of you. Every time your water glass gets low, they refill it for you. You don't even have to ask. Well, if you enjoy the pod, tip your podcast hosts, especially if you had a good sweep last night. Sign up for a week or more of the best bet picks exclusively on Juice Reel. As soon as I make a bet, they go right to the ASG podcast page on Juice Reel, and you can get them immediately as soon as I bet them for $9.99 a week or $24.99 for a month. So $10 a week, that's $1.42 a day. $25 for a month, that's 83 cents a day. And you would be supporting the pod, making your podcast host happy, and then also you'd be contributing to my daughter's upcoming ridiculously expensive, absurdly expensive childcare fund. But seriously, anyone who has signed up for the plays, I appreciate you. So download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them both a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, do you have a live odds page? Well, if you don't have one, you need one. I can't stress enough how important a live odds page is. You got to be able to track the market. The whole point here, guys, is that we are picking up the context clues from what the market is telling us. And if you don't have access to reliable market data, you're flying blind. You got to be able to know very quickly what are all the games being played today, start times, live scoring, live in-game wagering, all the work you do prior to placing your bet, comparing the opening column to the current, see which direction the line is moving for every game, pull up the line history, shop for the best number, find the best line. You can do it all with Odds Logic. So I highly recommend trying out Odds Logic. I use it every day. It's my favorite live odds page. You can give it a shot with this special link, oddslogic.com/Josh123. That'll give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month of service. So that about does it for episode 547 of the ASG pod. As always, guys, 2 final thoughts. 1, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, or the Nash in my neck of the woods on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. We're going to see each other from across the sportsbook floor. We're going to knock on the janitor's closet, say, hey, mind if I borrow the broom real quick? We're going to do a little Fred Astaire dance on the sportsbook floor because we had a great sweep last night. Show me a Orioles ticket, Marlins ticket, Brewers ticket. First one's on me, next one's on you. We'll post about the book and reinvest carefully and smartly again tonight, putting 1 unit on the Brewers, the Rays, and the Marlins, and hopefully produce a winning night. So as always, guys, coming off a 3-0 or an 0-3, a 1-2 or a 2-1, a good night, a bad night, a winning streak, a losing streak. We just can't get too high or too low. Can't be too high thinking it's easy when we're winning. Can't be down in the dumps thinking it's impossible when we're losing. We just got to continue to grind, stay true to the model. Look for games that fit our philosophy. Games that are against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So hope everyone has a great Friday and even better weekend. Reminder, no pods on the weekend, but the next 2 days of baseball, you can get the baseball best bets on Juice Reel, or you can read the sharp reports that are right for VSiN.com. You can find them on Twitter. I tweet them out every early afternoon, late morning at Josh_insights. Well, I hope you have a great Friday and even better weekend, guys. I'll see you back on Monday. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a best bet on the home run derby. But good luck, and hopefully we can cash some tickets. I'll see you back on Monday for episode 548 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great weekend.